TeSeS, congratulations, man. That must feel pretty damn good, particularly in this arena doing it once again.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was insane.
How's your heart feeling right now?
Well, it was insane. Adrenaline was pumping all the way through, and managing to beat them.
I have one question, right? You're 8-1 down on Ancient. What did Kaden say?
Yeah, well, like we just have to grind some rounds, and we have strong belief in our T side, and we knew that last time when we met them, we had a crazy CT side, but the map was also different back then. But yeah, we just managed to grind enough rounds to be able to come back on the T side.
Yeah, from my side, I mean, congratulations, right? It was huge. I got two questions, actually. The first one, like, how big of an issue is actually this crowd? Like, were you guys able to communicate with each other properly throughout the whole series, or it's actually really hard?
I would say last year was even harder because it was like it felt like you were in an octagon.
Anywhere you look, that's a crowd.
But yeah, it was still tough to talk sometimes when they were really loud and we couldn't really hear anything, and we had to repeat ourselves a million times. But yeah, we managed to get through it.
The second question would be more towards, we were talking about, like, you know, the chemistry that you guys have as a team. I know some of the players from Heroic, I used to coach them, and I can tell that, like, you know, we saw you guys coming to the stage. You were not there, but I think it was Town and someone else. And Kaden was all about hyping you guys up. And Kaden really is the type of leader that is really good at that, right? So, like, my question is more towards the angle of, like, when you guys came here today to play against FURIA, against this crowd, how big of, like, how much you guys actually work on the mental side of things? Because, like, yeah, I guess you guys expected that it would be a tough game, right? I don't know how much preparation you guys put into the game itself, if you guys played more like your game, or if you guys actually studied them a lot, or you think it was more on the mental side of things and the way you guys approached coming here?
Yeah, well, we followed our routines as usual with the in-game stuff, so a lot of preparation and game plan for that. But yeah, we also had a team meeting about the playoff in itself, and we knew we were going to play FURIA the first game, so a lot of talk went into that game, and we knew that we had to be prepared for this arena with everyone booing at us. So yeah, it was like extra preparation mentally this game.
There were quite a few moments that shut the crowd up here, but I want to throw it back to Mirage, and I want to ask you about that Kaden 1v3 that was just absolutely ridiculous. And then he stands up and literally gives it to the crowd. Walk me through that from your perspective of that, Mirage.
Yeah, that was a bold move.
Very bold.
Yeah, well, he also said afterwards that, okay, yeah, well, it was a sick clutch, and he was like, you have to respect it, right?
Yeah, right?
It was not like dissing them or anything unrespectful. But you know him, he has done it a million times before and also did it last time in Rio against Spirit.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, he was bold and he felt it. And yeah, I think it was good, and it created a little extra hype for the game.
I have one more final question. This is for the final map, right? A little bit more about the game. Your T side, much more death ball, like, you know, grouped up, faster plays, and you saw a lot of like B hits coming in. And then one round, I think it was towards A, through the smoke. You just run out. I think with Shasha, you just runs out immediately. Headshots, I think, Case Serrato right there. Much more faster pace coming out from a lot of the rounds there. Can you just help me through your thought process? Were you trying to abuse this particular player towards B, like Drop was struggling a little bit, for example?
Well, it's sometimes tough with FURIA. Like, sometimes you can say, okay, they use all their nades and you just have to play slow and slow and slow. But sometimes that just doesn't work. And then we have to do like hard on hard. Then you just run through everything and you kind of surprise them too. But yeah, we were kind of playing a little fast here and there and try to mix up the pace a lot, which we usually are very good to, I would say.
One more question from me, actually. It's about game stuff as well, Mirage. Were you guys caught and surprised by the way they played their T side? Because, like, we're talking on the desk about the way they approach their game against FaZe, very slow, methodical, taking mid control. And against you guys, my gut feeling is just that I kind of feel like they kind of lost the series in that one because they were going for a lot of fast-paced stuff. Like, for example, even on their CT side, you guys did a B-pop on a force buy. They get caught by that. They lose a round. Like, it's the most common thing on Mirage that they just force buy and rush B, right? Or do some kind of execution. They lost by that. Were you guys caught by the way they played specifically on their T side at all? Or you guys were prepared for them actually playing that fast as they did?
Well, I think on Inferno, we kind of find out that they are trying to abuse, or not abuse, but use like the circumstances on the stage, and you know you can hear all the footsteps and you're going to miss information all the time, and like they're trying to use that and play a little faster, and I think that's one of their tendencies maybe when they get into arenas like this, that they know how to play arena games, but maybe it also becomes their like biggest obstacle because they won't play their normal CS, right?
Yeah.
TeSeS, to look forward to your next journey, your next destination rather, here in the Jeunesse Arena. Na'Vi is going to be awaiting you. Very excited for this because it's obviously a rematch of IM Katowice as well. My question is, how different do you feel like the Na'Vi is now versus what we saw back at Katowice? Do you feel like they've improved as a team?
They have definitely improved, and they have done very well also in the RMR tournament. I think they're doing very well, and right now they seem pretty comfortable with their team, and we'll just see if they manage to stay together and actually like build like a Na'Vi era once again. But we'll hopefully take them down tomorrow, and I know if we play to our normal level, then we'll definitely be able to beat them.
Can I also just quickly ask you what the preparation and stuff is going to look like? Because I was catching up a little bit with Katie, and he was saying, you know, it's really hard when you're in this quarterfinal situation because you guys like to prepare so much as a team.
Yep.
Obviously, it's way better to make it to the semi-finals. So what are you going to be doing between now, getting back to the hotel, obviously sleeping at some point in the game tomorrow?
Well, it's definitely about prioritizing what you can do, because you can't do everything that we usually like to do. But we have learned that throughout the years, since the LAN tournaments began, that we just have to prioritize a smaller walk, a little faster breakfast, a little faster lunch, to get as much time for what we want to do, right?
Well, TeSeS, appreciate you taking the time to catch up with us. Congratulations.
Thank
really
you.
looking forward to that game versus Na'Vi tomorrow in the semi-final.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
GG.